This display focuses on the schools that the Pena children and the neighboring children would have gone to here in the Lagoon Valley, or the Vaca Valley as it was also called. In this display, we have one of Gavina Pena's school books, the original school book from one of the family members. And then we also have some other books that are on display that were typical for the time period, maybe not original, but appropriate for the time period. We also have some children's toys that were found on the property during the restoration. They brought in a team and they did the excavation. And we have some little parts of a tea set, parts of dolls, and a few marbles. Moving over here, we have a picture of Willis Lynn Jepson, who we know was the famed California botanist from the Vacaville area, and the first person in Vacaville to earn a PhD. And then next to him we have Edwin Markham. Edwin Markham was born in Oregon, but by age 4 his family had relocated to the Lagoon Valley, and they had a ranch here in this area. He worked the ranch with his sister and his mother. And he was very curious and wanted to become more educated. His mother didn't agree. She wanted him to stay with the farm, but he wanted to earn his education, which he eventually did. He received his teaching certificate in 1870. He went to school in Vacaville, in downtown Vacaville. You can see the remains of the old Christian college. He did attend that college. In elementary school, he did attend school in the Lagoon Valley called the Black Elementary, and he was enrolled there with Rose Pena Coombs. Rose Coombs was the younger sister of Vidal. Vidal is Cecilia Pena's grandfather. And they tell the story of how Edwin Markham was anxious to further his education as a young boy. And at the time, there were a lot of visitors traveling between San Francisco and Sonoma to transact business with General Vallejo up in Sonoma. So there was a lot of travelers going back and forth through this area. At one point, a traveler came, and the Penas at that time welcomed him to stay overnight and refresh before continuing his journey. But the man was fairly ill. Sometime before that night, he took his saddlebags and hiked up into the hills and came back without the saddlebags. And that night he passed away in the Pena family home. As the story goes that Rose Pena told, Ed Markham was hiking up in the hills one day, and he came across an area, and he dug around in it, and he found saddlebags with a lot of gold. And that was the funds that he used to underwrite his college education. That's the story that has been handed down to us. It's interesting. Whether or not it's true, we don't know, but Ed Markham came from a ranch family with little means and a mother who was not encouraging education. So it's amazing that he found the resources to continue his education. The reason we have him here with a picture of Abe Lincoln is because when the Lincoln Memorial was dedicated in 1922, they sent out invitations to 225 poets to come and read and be a part of the dedication ceremony, and Edwin Markham was chosen as one of them. So his poem, Lincoln, Man of the People, he recited himself at the dedication. Later it was filmed, and one of the reviews, let me just read to you what Dr. Henry Van Dyke of Princeton wrote about Ed Markham's poem. Edwin Markham's Lincoln is the greatest poem ever written on the immortal martyr, and the greatest that ever will be written.